We're going to look at some word problems for ratio and proportion. In here we're saying if a 20% solution contains 30 grams of medication, how many milliliters of solution do you have? Well, 20% solution means 20 grams out of 100 milliliters. But in this situation we have 30 grams. And the question is, how many milliliters do we have? And looking at this, we recognize it's a proportion. So to solve the proportion, we multiply across where we can and then divide. So X will be 100 milliliters times 30 grams divided by 20 grams. And the solution will be in milliliters. So 100 times 30 divided by 20 gives me 150 milliliters. Okay, our next question says, a certain medication is given according to body weight. Dosage is 1/2 teaspoon for every 20 pounds. How many teaspoons would you give a person weighing 140 pounds? Again, we have a proportion to work with here. 1/2 teaspoon for every 20 pounds. And we want to find out how many teaspoons are given for a person that weighs 140 pounds. Again, using our strategy for proportions, multiply across where you can and then divide. So X will be 1/2 teaspoon times 140 pounds divided by 20 pounds. So what's that's going to give us? The pounds will cancel. The results will be in teaspoons. And the result is 3.5 teaspoons. A label on a medication reads 150 milligrams per tablet. If you are to give 3.5 tablets, how many milligrams of medication will the patient receive? Now this can also be done with a proportion. So you could say 150 milligrams per 1 tablet. How many milligrams per 3.5 tablets? So if that's the case, multiply across where you can and then divide our usual way. So 150 times 3.5 divided by 1 gives us 525 milligrams. But this isn't the only way we could do this. We could also do this with unit conversion or dimension analysis, namely to say we want to convert 3.5 tablets into milligrams. So we know this person is taking 3.5 tablets. We want to convert tablets into milligrams. If that's the case, we will divide tablets on the bottom and we'll put milligrams on the top. And what do we know? We know that 1 tablet has 150 milligrams. And as you can see, if we multiply those two things together, tablets would cancel. We get 3.5 times 150, or again, 525 milligrams. The strength available is 40 milligrams and 2.5 milliliters. A dosage of 15 milligrams has been ordered. How many milligrams do you give the patient? So we know we have 40 milligrams per 2.5 milliliters. The dosage that's been ordered is 15 milligrams. So if we're solving it as a proportion, we put milligrams upstairs and milliliters downstairs. So 15 milligrams corresponds to X milliliters. Now to solve this, we multiply across where we can and then divide. Multiply across here and then divide by 40. So we get 2.5 milliliters times 15 milligrams divided by 40 milligrams. And you will notice that milliliters will indeed be the units that remain. So 2.5 times 15 divided by 40 gives me 0.9375 milliliters. So just a little bit less than 1 milliliter. The next question says, how many grams of medication are in 300 milliliters of an 8.5% solution? So we'll start with the 8.5% solution part of this problem, and that would mean 8.5 grams in 100 milliliters. And if we're going to go ahead and use proportions, we will then say how many grams would be in 300 milliliters. And as you know, the strategy is to multiply across where you can and then divide to solve for x. So we'll take 8.5 grams times 300 milliliters divided by 100 milliliters. Milliliters cancel, we're left with grams, and it appears to be 25.5 grams. Next up it says you are to give 3/4 grains of medication from 1.5 grain tablets. How many tablets will you give? So I'm not sure that this is best solved with a proportion, but rather to recognize that we have to convert grains into tablets. So the dose here is 3/4 of a grain. We want to convert grains into tablets, so let's multiply by the appropriate thing. So we have grains in the numerator, so to get it to cancel, we need grains in the denominator, so tablets would be in the numerator. And what does this tell us? This tells us that one tablet is 1.5 grains. So you'll notice that grains will cancel, and I have 3 times 1 upstairs, which is 3, and I have 4 times 1.5, which is 6 downstairs. So we get 3 over 6 tablets, and that's certainly easy to reduce. So that our final result here is 1/2 of a tablet.